This is Laitz Workbook 1, Chapter 3, Exercise 3.10. This one is unique and fun because it's one of the first times that we're going to use Roman numeral analysis. And some of you the other day were asking about this in class, so here we go. Now, I kind of need to explain how this works because I don't think we've talked about it much. So we have to figure out the key first. I see B flat in the bottom staff and D and F in the top. That is a B flat major triad. And I see two flats in the key signature. So I'm going to go out on a limb. It's not even going out on much of a limb. It's going off of evidence that we see that we are in B flat major. So here's how you notate that. You put capital B flat because it's major, and you put a colon. But in any major key, if you have the scale, and if you harmonize each member of the scale with a triad, they make different qualities. So the one chord, do, mi, so, mi, do, is a major triad. So I'm going to put capital. We use Roman numerals to name the chords, okay? Now I'm going to go to scale degree 2, which is C, and harmonize with a triad. C, E flat, G, E flat, C, which would be re, fa, la, fa, re. And that's a minor triad. Okay, you tell me if I harmonize on D, scale degree 3, major or minor? That's correct, it's minor. Da, 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 da. So you use small case. 4, da, 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 da. The 4 is, sorry, I didn't sing that in tune. Da, 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 da. There we go. 4 is a major triad. 5. Da, 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 da. So, T, re, T, so is also major. G, B flat, D. Da, 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 da. That is a minor triad. Oops, stay put. And harmonize on A natural. A, C, E flat, C, A. 7 is the only one that's not major nor minor. It is diminished. And then we go back to da, 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 da. The one chord harmonized on the note B flat, which is major. So what we're looking here in each of these boxes is to figure out what chord is presented here and what inversion. This is a lot to throw at people. Okay. But it's not so bad if we talk through it. So I'm going to put what I see in the first box here in root position. It's separated by 2 staves, but would you agree with me that if I brought these 2 notes down and I packed them on top of here, B flat, D, F, that would be a one chord in B flat major. And all these are the same through this whole bar, so the one chord lasts through that whole measure. Next bar with the box, A, C, F. Okay, let's just pop it down here so we can see it in a closed position easier. So I'm going to take these 2 notes, I'm going to throw them down there just like we did before, A, and then add the C and the F. Now, this is not in a triad like we saw over here. So I need to unpack that a little bit and unwrap it to F, A, C. You have to take anything that's not in a root position and always put it in the triad form, in other words, or in order to figure out what you're looking at. So what we're looking at is an F, A, C. F is scale degree 5. Let me write this down. In this key, B flat is scale degree 1, C, D, E flat, F, ugly F, G, A, B flat. Okay, so that is an F chord. That is 5. Okay, so what you're looking at over here is a 5 chord. Inverted ones. This is a 3rd, and then from the top to the bottom is a 6th. So that's a 5-6 chord. I'm going to erase this 5 right here just to kind of clean it up a little bit. So that 5-6 chord lasts for both of these chords because they're identical. Okay, now on bar 3, we see a G on the bottom staff and then B flat and D. So if I stack in one staff, oh, hallelujah, we see a G minor chord in a root position. If I bring these two notes down here and just stack them on top. Okay, so we see a G minor. Now G minor, if you look at the chart, the sloppy chart I wrote above, is G is scale degree 6, so if you harmonize it, it's a minor 6 chord. Let's look at the next bar. We have F, bring these two guys down here to A and D. Now it's still not unwrapped yet, so I need to put in a triad form. How about D, F, and A? Okay, so look at B flat, C, D. So it's going to be a 3 chord. Oops, come on. It's going to be a 3 chord. But you have to base it off of what you see. So that's a 3 chord in first inversion. Between F and A is a 3, and between F up to D, F, G, A, B, C, D is a 6. Okay, so with those figure bass numbers, that's telling you that is in first inversion. Now, I don't remember if this exercise wants the abbreviated figure bass. It's not saying. Technically, you wouldn't see the 3 because we know it's there, but just by convention, we don't write it. Okay, so let's go on to the next bar, E flat. Bring the two top notes down to this staff so we can see what we've got here. E flat, G, B flat. Oh, hallelujah, a root position triad. So we don't have to uninvert it, it's already fine. So E flat is the bottom note. Look right here, E flat is scale degree 4, and you harmonize scale degree 4 into harmony Roman numeral 4 like that. And that lasts for this whole bar. And now let's go to the next bar. We're going to bring these two guys down here and pile it on D, F, B flat. That is not in its root position, but this is B flat, D, F. Well, B flat scale degree 1, right there. So this is a 1 chord in first inversion because we're basing it off of this thing and not the root position one. We're basing off what we see. Okay, so between D and F, 1, 2, 3, and D and B flat, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, D, E flat, F, G, A, B flat. And we're not putting the 3 right here because that's just understood by abbreviation and convention, and we leave that out, but you know that it's there. Okay, and this bar is kind of weird. I don't even want to talk about this bar. I'm just gonna make an executive decision for now to ditch it because it's got some decorations in it. Okay, and then let's just leave out this note for the sake of the argument and this note. Now we can do these other two. Okay, so let's take a peek at this measure right here. You got a C, an A, and an E flat. That's in a very open position. So let's condense that down. I'm going to bring the E flat down to here and the A down to here. And I'm sorry, I meant to write it in red like I did for some of the others, but I'm not being very consistent here. Okay, so C, E flat, A. It's not quite in root position. Root position, if you really unwound this thing, would be A, C, E flat, like that. Okay, so A is scale degree 7, and A is a diminished triad, which this thing is. Okay, so this is going to be a 7 chord, 7 diminished chord. And because it's in first inversion, we base it off of this one, then you got to put the 6. Okay, now look at this one. The next one, you have B flat and a D up here. You don't have an F, but if you have at least a root and a third, that's enough information to tell you that it's a major triad. Here's with the F in it. But you can still tell just with B flat and D that that's not minor, that's major, okay? So we're going to call that the 1 chord. It's in root position because B flat is scale degree 1. And then F and an A and a C. So just bring these two guys down here and go A and C. That's already in home base, so you don't have to do anything to it. So the note F up here is the 5 chord. Now that was a lot of writing, but that's the process that you go through, and it gets easier over time, okay? So take a listen. It goes 1 and 2, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, so pick a part you want to sing. This is from a famous Mozart opera called The Magic Flute. And these are the 3 little genies that come out. It has some magic in that opera. And the 3 little genies are young boys usually, or young children who usually sing the part. And so that's why it's pitched all up here like this, okay? For those of you who wish to sing it lower, you can. These would be the Shreks down here and the genies up here, okay? 1 and 2. 1 chord, 5 in first inversion, 6 chord, 3 in first inversion, 4 and 1, 6, 7, 1, 5. 7 diminished 6, 1, 5. I just couldn't say it all in real time that fast. So welcome, my friends, to the art of Roman numeral analysis. Now you'll notice that the Roman numerals are different than the so-called Arabic numerals. So we combine them, so if you're going to write, like, say, a 4, there's a Roman numeral, and it was, let's say, for the sake of the argument, it was in second inversion of the triad. Then you use the Arabic numbers to show it like that. So it's kind of a combination of using those 2 sets of things. So I'm proud we did our first Roman numeral analysis. That is a fantastic day.